Hello everyone and welcome to my monthly book haul. So I just want to say before I get into this, sorry for the lighting. It's raining today and with the new filming setup and filming in the garage, I'm still working on artificial light because I've been so used to natural light that it's hard for me to, get. So I have some stuff coming. Some videos are just going to be wonky with lighting, this being one of them. Hopefully it's okay, but today I want to share with you all of the books I acquired this past month and share with you what they're about and things like that. This video is also so kindly sponsored by Book of the Month. And if you haven't heard, Book of the Month is a monthly book service for, you guessed it, readers of all shapes and all forms, different genre lovers. Book of the Month has got you covered. Book of the Month has a huge team that curates through every single month's releases and picks out some of the best books to offer their customers. And they have a plethora of genres within each month. Usually there's historical, romance, a lot of literary fiction, a lot of thrillers. Sometimes there's a sci-fi thrown in there. The genres are endless. They also have add-ons each and every month. So they have 5 books that they pick out every single month at the beginning of the month for members to choose from, but they also have some add-on books that they do every single month as well. There's like 2 to 3 ones that are in addition to those 5. And in case you're not feeling any of the selections at all that month, because sometimes that does happen, you can go to their backlog and see all of their past books they've ever picked, and you can pick one of those. And if you're still not feeling that, you can still skip a month and have no repercussions. You'll just be charged for the next month for the next time you pick a new book. So I love Book of the Month. You guys know this. I love their selections. I love trying to figure out which selections they're going to choose each month. Sometimes I am very, very correct, and sometimes I am very, very wrong. But either way, it's fun to see what they select. And like I said, they have such a good selection. They always introduce me to some new authors, some new genres, and new books that probably I would have never heard of before. So if you're interested in checking Book of the Month out, you can get your first book with using the code Bookables for only $9.99, which is a steal. For an adult hardback book, that is just an amazing price. So I will leave all the information down below for you to check it out and things like that. Like I said, you can use my code and get your first book for $9.99, which is just an amazing price. And that way you can try it before you buy it. And it's just a great way to do it. So thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. And since we're talking about Book of the Month, the first 5 books I'm going to talk about today are the 5 selections for Book of the Month August picks. So the first one is one I'm most excited about, and one I've already read, so I feel like a double pat on my shoulder for that. That is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This is their 3rd book in the Kiss Quotient series. You don't have to read them in order. I would recommend it. It's an adult romance series. This book we follow a character named Quan, who's been in the first 2 books, and his chance of love and how he's gone through a lot of things. He meets this girl named Anna, and they decide to kind of have a hookup because they meet online, and of course a relationship develops, and it's a beautiful book that talks about so many amazing things. Helen Huang has great autistic representation. I love it. She also, in this book in particular, has great just like caregiver representation, because one of the characters has to care for their family members that is not doing very well, and so she talks a lot about that. It's got a lot about anxiety and things like that. Also, this has a big trigger warning for cancer as well. So it sounds like a heavy book, and it is, but somehow she weaves it into such beautiful romance that I just love. This book I'm very excited for is Sherry LaPena's new book, and this is Not a Happy Family. So I've read a lot of her books before. This is an adult mystery. So they're basically, we have this family that's kind of a rich family, and the parents get murdered one night. They're brutally murdered the night after an Easter dinner with their 3 adult kids, who of course are devastated, or are they? Each stand to inherit lots of things. So this book, you're trying to figure out who killed the parents, who had a motive. It's kind of like that movie Knives Out, where, the matriarch dies and you have so many people that have a motive to kill him, but who exactly did it? It's exactly the case with this book. Super excited to read it. Then we have one that is just a stunning cover, and it's called Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte Conahay. And this one I don't know much about. It's a literary fiction, I believe, a very short one, and it takes place in Scotland, and we have 2 characters, Inti and Aggie, who are a team of biologists tasked with reintroducing 14 gray wolves into the remote highlands, but then I think murder happens and people automatically think that it's the wolves that do it, and she has to prove that they're innocent and how far she's willing to go to do that. So I've heard really good things about this author. I've never read anything by her, but this one really intrigues me. Then we have Damnation Spring by Ash Davidson, and this one sounds intense, like goodness me. So this is about, for generations, Rich Gutterson's family family has chopped a livelihood out of the redwood forest along the California's rugged coast. And now they're raising their son near Damnation Grave in a swath of ancient redwoods. And basically what happens is Colleen, the wife of Rich, keeps having miscarriages. She wants to have another kid, and she keeps having miscarriages over and over. And not only just her, but there's a lot of women that live in Damnation Springs that are also having the same thing. So they're like, is this not something in our bodies? Like, what's up? And it says for decades, the herbicides that the Logging Company uses were considered harmless. But what if these miscarriages aren't isolated strokes of bad luck? So this sounds like it's got like an intense vibe to it, where science and all this other stuff, lawsuits, things are happening. These women are having miscarriages, which is beyond horrible. So goodness me, this one sounds like it's going to be an intense read. And the last book for Book of the Month is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, that's it, by Zordita Cordova. So this one, I think it's a YA book. I'm not too sure. So this is about a family who used to live a life without explanations. Their pantry never runs low, or why their matriarch won't ever leave their home. And basically, Orquídea invites them to her funeral to collect their inheritance. She has transformed into a tree, her limbs stretching into roots and branches, leaving them with more questions than answers. And then 7 years later, her gifts have manifested in different ways for all of these family members. And then basically, her descendants traveled to Ecuador, the place where Orquídea buried her secrets and broken promises to never look back. So it's got a family vibe. It's got kind of maybe like a magical fantasy vibe as well. I've never read anything by this author, but I'm very intrigued by it. So those are the 5 August selections. If there are any of the other Book of the Month books, like I said, the links will be down below for you to check it out. You can use my code to get your first book for only $9.99. It's a steal. Check it out. Moving on to the rest of the books. I don't have a ton, honestly, which is really good because I've told you repeatedly, I've moved offices, so I went down to a shelf. I don't have a ton of space. The only space I have for TBR books is on my TBR cart, and it's getting full by the minute. And I didn't buy any books this month because I'm buying baby things, because 'tis is life. But either way, I have some books that some amazing publishers sent me, so I will share you those. I will share those with you. The first 2, I believe, are from SourceFire. Oh, no, the first books are from Source Books Casablanca, and the first one is Witch Please by Anne Aguirre. And this is about a character named Danica, who's a modern witch, and she meets this guy named Titus, and he has this bakery called Sugar Daddy's, which is just great. And he has a romantic curse that he's convinced has left him doomed to be alone until he meets Danica. So, I mean, it sounds like a really cute Halloween book. I feel like witch books are coming more witch romance, like kind of contemporary. Is that a genre? Contemporary witch romance? I don't know, but I'm not gonna lie. I saw the cover, I saw the title, and I read the synopsis, and I was like, I think I could be into this. So there's that one. And the other one they sent me is A Spot of Trouble, Boy Do They Know Me by Terry Wilson. This is dogs on the cover, and I'm immediately drawn to any book with dogs on the cover. So this is about Violet and Sam who meet, and basically Violet accused Sam of dog napping her beloved Dalmatian, and I think happens against a backdrop of canine hijinks and summertime softball league. The 2 Dalmatian owners constantly butt heads, but of course, romance is going to ensue. We can all see that coming. Next up, I have a huge stack of books from Simon Teen. The first one being Between You, Me, and the Honeybees, which I love the title of that, by Amelia Diane Combs. And this one is about a girl that just graduated from high school, and she's like ready for a summer of sunshine, beekeeping, and lying to her mom. And I think that's basically what it's about. It's a new neighbor, and he's interested in her, and I don't know, something about beekeeping. I've never read a book about beekeeping, but I'm always interested in it because bees are fascinating, and bees provide so much for this planet that, like, I feel like nobody ever talks about and nobody ever knows. To the point now where if I see a bee and he's kind of near me and my son, like, I think in the past I would be like, I gotta go away, I gotta kill it. Like, bees really respect your space if you respect theirs, but sometimes they are territorial, so I was just trying to move him like away, like gently and slowly. So I did that. I don't know. Bees are good. Next up is a very interesting book, and that's called Hate to Love You by Jen Bennett. So this is like not a new book by her, but it's 2 of her books in one paperback. So it's got Alex Approximately and Starry Eyes in it, which I've read both. So I don't have a need for this, so I might save this for a friend, actually. I own the other 2, but I mean, I thought it was really cool that they put them both in this one big paperback. heck? But I mean, it's very daunting when you look at it. You're like, holy crap, this is a huge book, but it's really in fact 2 books. So if you don't know, Acts Approximately, it's like a very summary book, kind of like You've Got Mail. Starry Eyes is another summary book where it takes place in spring break, like on a camping trip. They're both adorable. I love them both. So I'm super excited to have it, but I don't have a need for it because like I said, I have the other 2 books. I'm going to give this to a friend. I thought that was really cool of how they did it and how they made the cover and everything like that. So that's pretty awesome. I love Jen Bennett's books. And then I have some that I have no clue about. Kind of, Sort of, Fine by Spencer Hall. This one, no clue. Senior year of high school is full of changes. Oh, it's like a YA contemporary. I don't know much about it. I apologize. As well as the same thing with After the Ink Dries by Cassie Gustafsson. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And what does it mean when you thought you knew someone? What does it mean when that person is your new boyfriend? Oh, interesting. This is her debut novel about what it means to face hard truths about yourself and others and explores how to find strength when you need it the most. So it sounds really awesome. I haven't heard anything about it. Much like the last one is The Mythic Coda Rose by Jennifer Nisley. I love the cover about it, but I don't know. This is about a girl that moves around a lot. And this is about bridging the gap between who you are and who you want to be, even when the latter feels impossibly out of reach. So this one sounds awesome. So she tracks down her dad's bandmate and ex-girlfriend and finds herself becoming rapidly obsessed with the miracle musician. That's really cool. And then from Wednesday books, I have Carry On by Riverwell, which I have already read. So I'm going to also give this to my friend because I don't need it. I do believe this is like kind of a new like version of it. Like, look how cool that is. I might switch them out. I don't know, but it's really cool. Carry On is her like fantasy take on Harry Potter, but kind of not. Like, you suspend your belief with it, but it's about a character named Simon Snow who's like the chosen one. He falls in love with his roommate Baz, who is a vampire, and it's just a really fun book. They're funny. I didn't love the second book as much. What is it called? Carry On, Wayward Son, I believe. But the third one just came out. This is the third and final one called Anyway the Wind Blows. And it follows their adventures and things like that. Like I said, look at that. Let's see what it looks like. Really cool. So I'm very excited to read it. I don't know when I'll read it. One day I will. But I mean, if you just want kind of like a more satire-y Harry Potter, maybe, that might be the one for you. I enjoyed them. I had a good time. Next up, I have They'll Never Catch Us by Jessica Goodman, sent to me by Penguin Teen. I love this cover, the bloody shoe. Ooh, exciting. They also sent me some shoes that are exactly like this, so that was really fun. And this is a YA mystery thriller about 2 sisters that are years apart, but they are very different. And basically one of them is a top runner in her school, and regionals approaching and college scouts taking notice. The pressure's on and the girls won't let anything get in the way of their futures. But everything changes when Mila goes out on a training run and never returns. No one knows what happened, but all eyes are on the Steckler sisters. So that is very, very interesting. Very cool. I think I read her first book, and I sadly didn't love it as much, but it's okay. And then the last 2 books are from Disney, and the first one being Curse of the Spectre Queen by Jenny Elder Milke, and this is a YA fantasy, which, if you don't know, I don't really read a lot anymore, but that's how life goes. This is about a girl named Samantha Cox who basically, it's an Indiana Jones gets a refresh with this female-driven mystery adventure set in the 1920s, full of ciphers, ancient relics, and heart-stopping action, the first in a brand new series. So maybe it's not fantasy, it's like more adventure-y. I don't know, kind of appealing. I might have to check this out. If you've heard of this, let me know. And the last book is Like the Other Girls by Britta London. And this one is a YA contemporary about girls that play football, I believe, which is super, super awesome. They just have to, like, they decide to join a football team, which is great. And it sets a chain of events in her small Oregon town within her family that she could have never predicted, which is just awesome. Like, look at that. That's pretty freaking cool. I love that. So yeah, that's all the books I have this month. Not a ton. I am more than okay with it because, like I said, I don't have a ton of room and I e-read a lot. So it's just how it goes. Again, sorry for the lighting. It's wonky. Today was just a rainy day. Today was the only time I had to film, but it happens sometimes. Lighting can't always be the best every time as much as I want it to, but the show must go on. I don't know, but nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you check out Book of the Month. And as always, let me know if you've heard of any of these books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
So I found myself